You've probably heard that according to the US Small Business Administration, 97% of businesses fail in the first 5 years. You've probably also at some point in time in your life been told by Aunt Sally or Uncle John or your cousin or your teacher that, you know what, you're probably not cut out to do well in science. You know what, you're probably not cut out to be an athlete. You know what, you're probably not gonna get the man or the woman of your dreams. All these probabilities, as well as 97% of businesses failing in the first 5 months, is due to the black pill. Boys and girls, if you've listened and if you've heard any of these things that have been sent to you, and more importantly, you've internalized them, chances are you've given into black pill philosophy as well. In today's video, I teach you all about black pill philosophy and why it is the #1 reason that entrepreneurs fail in businesses, aspiring athletes fail to go down that career road, other people fail and give up on their dreams. Stay tuned. Let's get into it. Hey guys, my name's Yahya, founder and creator of Record Breaker, where I help you shatter past your highest revenue record months, your relationship records, your health records, and all other things related to records by changing the power of your mind. And in today's video, we're going to talk all about black pill philosophy, why businesses fail, how you can stop yourself from giving into black pill, how you can give into white pill and succeed at anything you put your mind to. So like I said, according to the US Small Business Administration, 97% of businesses fail in the first 5 years. Now, it could be, and it is, due to a large variety, a plethora of reasons. But more often than not, all the entrepreneurs I meet and the ones I work with, I've seen that it shifts their focus. Now, your focus is one of your biggest and best assets. Whatever you focus on is going to grow. Whatever you focus on is going to become bigger and bigger and bigger until it envelops the entire capacity of your mind. So more often than not, all these entrepreneurs who've been told these negative things, I call them death sentences. As long as they're focusing on these death sentences, what they're trying to do to the level best of their capacity is avoid the death sentence. So they're avoiding failing. They're avoiding going bankrupt. They're avoiding taking decisions, taking the wrong decisions, so on and so forth. Now, here's the thing. Their entire focus has shifted not to winning, not to growing, not to thriving. It's focused to surviving. How do I live this through? How do I make sure my company doesn't sink, my company doesn't go under? And here's the thing. I've grown 5 businesses in my career. And each one of them has been grown against unrelenting odds. Back when I was at Pfizer, I was given command of a division that was entirely new to the whole country, entirely new to the whole company. I was heading a consumer division within a pharmaceutical company. The entire company understood and operated on the norms of pharmaceutical sales, marketing, manufacturing. I had to re-educate the entire company. There's a lot of things I had to do to get that up and running. However, I did. Amounted to $10 million. When I moved to other companies, Takeda and Mundi Pharma, same thing. Brand new market. No presence in the market. No one knew about the companies. The companies hadn't operated in these markets directly. I had to start from zero, scratch, educating the company about the market, educating the market about the company, and back and forth. Same thing when I started my AI and robotics company. Zero funding. Most people think that if you need to start in tech, you need funding. We grew with zero funding, zero investors, and we're profitable from year 1. Unrelenting odds. The way I did it was by not giving in to the black pill, not giving in to the black pill philosophy, not giving in to swallowing the black pill. And let me give you a little bit of background on what the black pill is. The black pill philosophy originally comes from fitness, where a lot of young people today are told that, you know, the fitness, the bodybuilders, the athletes, the movie actors that you aspire to look like in terms of your physique, they're all on steroids, performance enhancing drugs, and you will never be like them. What this results in is that most people give up on fitness. They stop going to the gym, they stop working out because they're like, oh, these guys are on steroids, I will never be like them, what's the point? That's where it originated from, but you can pretty much project black pill philosophy onto any aspect of life. I was told in school by my business management teacher that I was horrible at business management and I would never be able to successfully run a business. 5 businesses later, you know where I stand. When I had my car accident, I was told by the doctor that, you know what, you're going to have trouble running. So maybe you should just walk for the rest of your life. Winning championships in lifting heavy weight in terms of squatting, running, winning, you know where I stand. So for me, I didn't realize, but I was constantly being given these death sentences by certain people because, let's face it, if you're told you will never run a successful business and you're taking business management and accounting and all these subjects to help you grow a business, it's more or less like a death sentence. If you're an avid workout enthusiast and you're told that, you know what, walking's the only thing you're going to be able to do for the rest of your life, forget about lifting weights, forget about running, forget about any endurance sports, more or less a death sentence. I didn't listen to these death sentences. And I developed a mechanism in my brain without realizing I was doing this is 20, 25 years ago. I had no clue what black pill was back then. But it became a mechanism where I was like, all right, I've heard you and, I've taken that information in, but I'm not going to internalize it. I'm not going to process it because I refuse to believe what you think is my potential. I know my potential way better than you. And so the first thing that you need to do if you're starting a business, if you're starting a company, if you have a startup, a joint venture, whatever you're doing, is not listen to and focus on the naysayers, the people who are telling you you're going to fail. And I'll tell you why. Most people who tell you you're going to fail have never achieved it themselves. Every single time I started any of my endeavors, every single time I started any of my businesses, I had a ton of naysayers. I had people coming to me and saying things like, oh yeah, this is a difficult project. Like, why did you sign on with this? Why did you pick this up? Nobody's ever succeeded. It's going to be tough. You're working on a consumer business in a pharmaceutical environment. We don't have the budgets to support consumer. Our people don't think in terms of marketing campaign. They're all medical, so on and so forth. However, these people had never achieved anything even remotely close to what I was setting out to achieve. So the first thing you do right now, whatever you're doing, do not listen to friends, family members, people of influence and authority, even well-wishers, even spouses. Don't. The only filter you should be using is, has this person walked in my shoes? Have they been in my situation? Because if someone has not been in your situation, if someone is not born with your unique personality, your skill sets, your confidence, and your proficiencies in whatever skills you have, whatever ideas you have, they literally cannot tell you, they cannot tell anybody if you're going to be successful or not. Only you can do that. So do not listen to the naysayers because the naysayers will detract your focus. Your focus is going to be on their words, which is eventually going to turn into fear of what if they said comes true. And you're going to spend all your time avoiding what they said will come true. Now, they didn't even know what they were talking about. So it's pointless to listen to them. Yes, they might care about you. Yes, they might come from a good place. But people are limited by their experiences. If someone has not had an experience like that, they're probably taking another experience of failure, projecting it on your experience, and then telling you you're going to fail. Don't take those death sentences. Do not swallow that black pill. You almost have to be delusional about whom to take advice from. And that's why I say entrepreneurship is a relatively lonely journey, because regular people, 9-to-5ers, do not understand what it means to run your own ship, to run your own business, to grow your own business. They don't. Even a lot of business owners who've inherited their businesses don't understand what entrepreneurship is like. Someone running a stable business has no clue about how to run a startup, a business growing, how to grow. In management, we have different types of country managers. We have people who run a company, and then we have people who grow a company. And guess what? The people running the company are paid nowhere near as much as the people who know how to grow a company are paid. Because it requires a growth mindset. A growth mindset does not focus on survival. A growth mindset focuses on growth, thriving. It's almost the complete opposite. What I've seen in my career, a lot of people who are survivors will tend to cut costs, cut corners. Oh, we need to make it, and I've seen this in my career. I've seen this a lot with a lot of people in leadership positions. They try to hang on for dear life. And because they don't know more, or they've swallowed way too many black pills about their business, they're refusing to try anything new. They've grown complacent, Their comfort zones are huge. They don't want to let go of the business they're in. So they would rather survive at any cost than put a little bit of energy and effort in figuring out how to grow. Because when you're growing, when you're making money, you don't care about saving money. You really don't. Your focus, if you can make money, if you can create money, if you can create revenue streams, you don't need to worry about losing money, because you can always make more. It is always more profitable to focus on making money than on saving money. So now that you know on what not to focus on, let's talk about the next thing. What to focus on. You're in a new environment, you're starting a new business, maybe you have a startup, maybe you're resuscitating an old business and putting new life into it. If you don't focus on these naysayers, you're gonna have problems, you're gonna have experiences, you're gonna have challenges. Whom should you listen to? Whose advice should you take? And this is what I did. I started searching for people who'd been in my position, who'd done things similar to what I wanted to do, and I started reaching out to them. So I started reaching out to other people in leadership positions running successful consumer companies and brands, and take their opinion and internalize it and start thinking like them. And here's my advice to you. There are always examples of people who've achieved what you're looking to achieve. You have to remember to always use that filter. Because at the end of the day, there's going to be challenges. Everybody needs a mentor, a guide, a reference point, somebody to talk to when heavy-duty, difficult challenges and problems arise. In Pfizer, I found people doing well in the consumer industry. In Mundipharma and Takeda, I found other people who had successfully grown crazy businesses in countries that were considered hard to do business in. I found other people when I was looking to buy companies and portfolios and manufacturing sites. I went to other people who had run and owned major companies and were experienced in finding and sorting and sifting and doing audits and quality checks on other manufacturers. And they all helped me. And so during this time, without realizing it, I was growing my network. And your net worth is defined by your network. So today, it is easy for me to pick up my phone and call somebody who would generally be unreachable for advice, because I built that relationship because I needed to, but I didn't realize that it was going to pay off in the long run. How can you do this? Go on LinkedIn. Message people, look at social media, look at your immediate circle, look for references, contacts, referrals. Again, entrepreneurs are some of the kindest people you will meet. Because it's a lonely journey, we understand what it's like for other people starting out. And they're more than happy to give you advice, guide you, just like they did with me, just like I now do with the people I work with and other people. It's going to happen for you too. Now that you know what not to focus on and you know what to focus on, you also know about the challenges. Now, every time they come, in spite of the advice you've been given, there's going to be difficult times. There's going to be problems. And this new way of being, this new filter, running around with this new filter of looking at people, looking at things and focusing on growth is going to be offset by who you've been for your entire life. Chances are, if you're watching this video, you have not been focusing on growing, but instead have been focusing on surviving. Or you're recently starting to focus on growth. So you're going to keep defaulting back into who you used to be. Remember, we are 95% of the time, we are working on a subconscious level. We're thinking subconsciously, we're feeling subconsciously, we're reacting subconsciously. You know, you have certain people who always see the glass as half full, and they're always happy. And then you have certain people who see the glass as half empty, and they're usually not in the best of moods. These aren't good or bad people. These aren't happy or sad people. These are just people who internalize being happy on a subconscious level, and so they now tend to be optimistic. And then these are people who went through some sort of trauma, and they internalized the trauma. They made it become part of who they are. They started identifying with it, and now they perpetually see the glass as half empty. Black pill to its extreme. You want to be white pill. You want to be where all possibilities can come true, provided you work at it. Where anything is possible, and it doesn't really matter in business. I work with people who've changed their health. I work with people who've changed their wealth and their relationships. People who've had sunk businesses have then come to grow amazing businesses. People who've been through divorce and trauma have then moved on to have beautiful relationships. People who've been told by doctors that they're going to suffer with the disease for the rest of their life have dumped their medicines, and they've completely reversed their biology, just like I did. Got rid of a bunch of diseases that I was diagnosed with. Got rid of a bunch of injuries. Anything is possible, provided you work at it. So How are you going to stop yourself from subconsciously defaulting? You need to be constantly this new version of you who sees possibilities, who's focused on growth, who wants to thrive. You don't want to be the person who sees nothing except blackness and darkness and depth, who doesn't want to survive. You don't want to be that person, so what are you going to do? I call this my 3R philosophy. When I was going through my journey, I kept defaulting back into what the naysayers had told me and all these things, because I too had a bunch of people who told me a bunch of things. Because I'm human, while I tried and I worked out my network and I did all these things, every time a major problem would happen, and there are major problems, you wake up in the morning one fine day and boom, 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 7 emails, 7 fires that you need to put out, which you had nothing to do with, but all of a sudden they're your responsibility, because as the CEO or the entrepreneur, the buck stops with you. You need to fix it because it's your business. And that tends to take a toll on our psyche, on our willpower. So the 3R philosophy, the first thing is repetition. The way we are programmed on a subconscious level is through repetition. This is how abuse works. You abuse a child constantly, in 2 weeks, they're going to believe whatever you're telling them. Lots of spouses and partners get abused the same way. You're stupid, you're stupid, you're stupid. Eventually the person starts believing it. Fear works the same way. Any form of indoctrination, the news again and again shows you bad things happening. Eventually you start believing it. Repetition, you are exposed to that stimulus again and again and again. So the only way to fix it is to refeed yourself something good repeatedly again and again and again. Now the cool part is, it doesn't take long. 21 to 30 days, boom, you've changed your entire subconscious mechanism. So you need repetition. Now you can write this down somewhere. I tell clients to put it on their computer screen, their desktop, so they see something about themselves again and again. You can put down any affirmation you like, something that you are constantly, almost chronically exposed to, because your mind, whether you read it or not, your mind has no choice but to believe it. And so if you're exposed to that stimulus often and frequently enough, your mind's going to internalize it. The second thing are rituals. Now remember, you need to set yourself up for success, which means you need to be growing, which means you need to minimize the problems. And how do you do that? Because problems are still going to happen. You change how you respond to problems. So you show up as a winner, a leader, a badass. No matter what nature and business throws at you, you have the ability to tackle it. You cannot be someone going to bed worrying about a problem. You cannot, because tomorrow there's going to be more problems. But you can go to bed thinking and believing that you are capable of solving those problems. How do you do that? You create rituals in your life that allow you to be successful. The easiest ritual in the world is whenever you wake up, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 5 o'clock, doesn't matter. Make your bed. It gives you this temporary sensory feeling of achievement, of accomplishment. So you start your day out thinking like you've already achieved and accomplished. Another ritual is to spend at least 30 minutes on yourself before you spend any time in the world. What that means is when you wake up, don't check your phone, don't check your email, don't check social media, don't check the news, television, radio, don't speak to anybody. Sit with yourself for 15, 20, 30 minutes, map out your routine, decide what you're going to do for the day, maybe meditate for 5, 10 minutes, and then start your day. You want to start your day on your terms. You want to start your day being proactive about who you are. The last thing you want to do is start your day responding to someone, because now you're a slave to whoever texted you, whatever email that came. You're now responding to life. You're reacting. You're not being proactive. And the third thing are routines. Routines are what help you maximize your output potential, minimize distractions and challenges, and also minimize the time it takes you to respond to something. One of the techniques I give my clients is time blocking. Time blocking works beautifully. Elon Musk is one of the most successful people that uses time blocking. I use time blocking. I get all my clients to use time blocking. You start and you stop. The job needs to be done in that time. Now, this is the cool part. Time blocking works on a subconscious level. So when your mind knows that you only have 20 minutes to do something, it'll make it happen in 20 minutes. And so you don't need to spend 2 hours doing it. Next thing. Hard schedules. Schedule everything in your calendar, including rest and recovery and fun time. You're going to watch a movie, put it in your calendar. You're going to go out with friends, put it in your calendar, because most entrepreneurs forget to spend time with their friends, and then all of a sudden they're not getting all of the four pleasure chemicals that they need. They're living literally on dopamine, which comes from social media. They don't have endorphins that comes from exercise. They don't have oxytocin that comes from social activity, bonding, love. And they also don't have serotonin that comes from goal achievement and target achievement and doing the hard things in life. You need all four to be successful. Probably make another video on that. So social activity needs to be scheduled, and all work activity needs to be scheduled. Why? Because you don't want to wake up in the morning and then think about what you're going to do that day. Remember the saying, a man who fails to plan plans to fail. You don't want to be that person. And then the last thing is you need hard disconnects. Being an entrepreneur means tackling problems every single day. What it does not mean is going to sleep thinking about problems only, because that's going to lead to burnout. I've gone through it. I work with people who've gone through it. You don't want to go through it. Hard disconnects. When your day is over, it is over. You don't check your email. You don't check anything else. You disconnect. You go for dinner. You go for a workout. You chill with the family. You watch a movie, do anything. And it needs to be done every day. There's this weird aspect about people where they think human beings are designed to function differently 5 days of the week, Monday to Friday, and then separately 2 days of the weekend. Now, as entrepreneurs, we pretty much work every single day. So you work on a 24-hour clock, which is a biological clock, which means you go to bed at the same time, you wake up at the same time, etc., etc. But you also disconnect every single day. Don't tell yourself, I'm going to work hard this whole week, get no entertainment, no rest, no spend time with friends, people I like, family, and then all of a sudden I'll make up for it on the weekend. It doesn't work like that. You're going to suffer. Every single day you need a hard disconnect. Boys and girls, this is how you can literally avoid black pill, and you can swallow the white pill and pretty much achieve what you want. Let me know in the comments if you like this video, like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.